what I'm going to share with you today, we're going to have a bit of fun today. So I'm leaving all of my neuroscience behind and I'm going to have some real fun with you today. You are all superheroes anyway, are you not? Thank you. To be an EA or a PA or anyone in that role, I think that you have, as we said during that panel, massive emotional intelligence already, don't you? Is there anyone here? I would say, can you raise your hand? But there's no point because I can't see you. But can I have a yay? That'll do, won't it? Can I have a yay if you think that you can preempt what your boss or bosses want or need before they have to ask? Yes. Yeah? Are there any nays? Well, I might as well just go then, hadn't I? I'll see if there's some stuff that I can give you that will elevate you to the next level. And none of this is rocket science. This is my favourite ever saying. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. And in the same way, when we're on holiday, we try desperately to order our meal in the native language. As awkward as it may be, you know, the reaction we get when people know that you're trying to speak in their language is wonderful, isn't it? So we get that rapport, and that's why I do what I do. It's about helping people to understand each other. It's about helping you to understand the language that's being spoken to you so that you can preempt their wants and needs even better than you do already. This is not woo-woo. Does anyone think it's woo-woo? Anyone think this is witchcraftery? If anyone wants to follow me on LinkedIn, I will do the same in reciprocation. You will see a post that I put up only last week that said, if I did what I do now several decades ago, I'd have been burnt at the stake. But actually, this is just animal instinct stuff. This is dead easy. So you're going to know most of the stuff that I'm going to share with you now. I don't know if this is going to play a video, but I would like you to read this. And if anyone can tell me what music this is, you get a bonus point. Thank you, Matt in the box. You're a wonder up there. I'm just going to put that back one. Just have a read of that. Can I have a yay if you think that's you or somebody you know? Yeah? Now, think of what I'm doing here. For all of the negatives, we have some positives. And these are the negatives and positive of one particular behaviour profile. Here's another. Do we have any of those in the room? Do we have anyone that's got a boss that's a little bit like that? Or someone they work with? What about this one? I can hear some yeses, yeah? And here's the last one, the extrovert. Yes, yeah, I can hear a few yeses there. But have we considered the fact that all of these particular behaviour profiles have got positives as well as negatives? Now, we are not likely to get on with everyone. Some of you may know this system. This is DISC. This is the work of William Moulton Marsden, and I'm going to come on to some of the other behaviour profiles in a second. But these are the 4 main behaviour profiles, and DISC is just one way of actually saying them. Dominance, influence, steadiness, and compliance. Now, we use 4 different colours, and the reason we use the colours we do tends to be because of the work of Professor Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. And I will say that after a pint. He produced Theory of Colours, and Theory of Colours was just about the psychology of colours. When you think about the attributes of someone who is dominant, red goes with that. It's a kind of emergency. It's a kind of powerful and slightly dangerous colour. Yellow goes with the communication, the charismatic, the performer style, a sunny yellow. Green is rooted like trees in the forest. Okay, so that's steady and patient and kind. And then blue is like the water, compliance. It's people that are cool and balanced and conservative in that sense. So these are the 4 that we're going to look at here. But let's talk about the different behaviour profiling. Can I just have a shout? Have you ever done a behaviour profile yourself? Fantastic. So you're probably going to hear the profile that I'm talking about now, because there are so many of them out there. How do we know which one is right? And what gives me the right to stand here and say that mine's better? So here we go. If we look at Plato was the first philosopher, as far as we can tell, that came up with 4 particular personality types. And I'm not very good with maths. I can't tell you how long ago that was, but it was a long, long time ago. Okay, so that goes back a very, very long way. Let's look at Carl Jung. Now, Carl Jung is responsible for what's called insights, discovery insights now. Did anyone know that was Carl Jung's work? Some of you, okay. William Moulton Marston was the guy that came up with DISC. He was a psychologist, a lawyer, a lecturer. He was also a massive feminist. And if anyone's not seen the film, I highly recommend the film. Professor Marston and his Wonder Women. He created Wonder Woman with the help of his wife. And Wonder Woman was actually the propaganda that he used for his feminism, because he believed that there weren't enough female good models in the world. And he was responsible for creating Wonder Woman. He also was responsible, with his wife, Elizabeth Byrne, for creating the first ever polygraph. Did anyone know that? He was an absolute genius, a polymath, if you like. So that's a really, really brilliant film. He created DISC. There's Myers-Briggs. Anyone heard of Myers-Briggs? You've done your MBTI? So Myers-Briggs was the mother and daughter. And back in 1943, they were helping women into wartime roles after the Second World War with their Myers-Briggs profile. And that later became MBTI in 1962. What about the Big Five? Anyone heard of the Big Five? The Big Five, far too many people involved in that. There are so many people involved in that you just can't pinpoint who came up with it. So when we say, oh, is it this work, is it that work? Actually, we're kind of using a little bit of everything. That's how we evolve as human beings, isn't it? Thomas International, anyone use Thomas International? Yeah, that's DISC. It's based on the work of William Moulton Marston. And that wasn't actually launched until 1981, fairly recently. Insight Discovery, as I mentioned before, was actually Andy Lothian. Now, I don't know if you know this, but Andy was actually a music agent. So he was actually touring with the Beatles. That's what he did before he got into deciding to go into behaviour profiling with his son. So I don't know if anyone knew that, but yet he's the guy that picked up the banner of the work that was done previously by Carl Jung and changed it into Insight Discovery. Wiley Publishing, probably one of the biggest publishers of DISC that there is on the planet. And they basically bought out everything DISC by Inkscape back in 2012, very, very recent. And then those of you who've been to my stand will know that there are lists to say if you want to have your Clarity profile done or your Essence profile done, put your name here. So Essence and Clarity, created in 202? That makes me a bit old, doesn't it? Now, I'm going to give you a hint as to my behaviour profile, all right? Attention to detail is shockingly shite. Thank you. 2020, in fact, I created Essence and Clarity. And this was actually following what I witnessed as a tsunami survivor. And what I saw when I was caught in the Boxing Day tsunami, in the aftermath, I saw straight through to the core of humanity. And let me tell you something extremely important. We are flipping lovely. Do you know we are? Oh my God, to see straight through to the core of humanity and to see that when it comes to adversity, when it really comes to the crunch, we have this compassion, this empathy, this benevolence. We put our life on the line for complete strangers. Yes, we do. Oh my God, it gives me tingles. But we do, you know, and we see that with every bit of adversity. You don't have to go through a tsunami. You know, when we see COVID, what happens when we see everyone out on the streets clapping for the NHS? That's what I'm talking about. It's this benevolence, this compassion. And do you know what? It's there in every single one of us when we're born. And that isn't just a belief. I've done the science. I have. I've done the neuroscience. I know the facts. We are born with a bigger empathy bone than most other animals. I'm not going to go into it now, but the reason we are is because we give birth to young who are helpless. Now, the benefit of giving birth to young that are helpless is they are extremely adaptable to their environment, their surroundings, and therefore babies learn very, very quickly. So their formative years, we're learning 10 times faster than any other time of our life. But the drawback of being born that adaptable is the fact that we need carers. So guess what? Whoever it was out there that created all of this, all right, thought, I know, I'll give them a bigger empathy bone. And then, whenever they turn on the internet, they'll go, oh, every time they see a kitten or a puppy. Yeah, but we do, don't we? And that is proof of that empathy bone. Anyone wants the real science, come and have a proper one-to-one with me another time. In the meantime, I just want to say essence and clarity, probably the best behaviour profiles since time began. Again, I'm giving you a little hint about my behaviour profile, and I'll let you have guesses later. There'll be a prize for the winner. So there's Professor Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, just to prove I did not make up his name. Okay? Now, look at this. This is fascinating because what we've got on one side, we've got insights, which is actually the work of Carl Jung. And on the other side, we've got DISC, which is, well, actually, that's clarity, which is me, but it's based on the theory of DISC. Okay? And what we can see here is they're exactly the same. We've got these 4 elements and they're exactly the same colours. So we can actually cross-refer it and it makes sense. So let's not bicker and argue about which behaviour profile is best, unless you want to say it's mine. Okay, let's just agree that anyone that does behaviour profiling, hats off. Okay, let's learn more about each other. Let's look at this. So, are you ready? These people, okay, these ones are the power dressers. I've seen some power dressers today, I tell you, you know. Shoulder pads, shiny boots, the works. These kind of people, they tend to have polished shoes. They tend to have accessories that are the latest in technology, okay, or the real deal when it comes to the bling on their finger, okay? And, you know, all the latest gadgets, that kind of stuff, that fits into a particular behaviour profile. And this is thousands of years, well, not thousands of years, hundreds of years worth of research that actually goes to show that the patterns are real. There are patterns out there. Guess which colour this is out of red, yellow, green and blue? Any guesses? Thank you. See, told you it was easy, didn't I? What about this one? A little bit of flamboyance, okay? The jewellery is likely to be accessories, all right? It's probably not going to be the real deal, but it's probably going to match the entire outfit. It might be fluid lines. It might be more airy-fairy, a little bit kind of, you know, a little bit louder. What colour do we think this is? Yes, exactly. It's yellow. So fab. Have a look at what I'm wearing, all right? Floaty top. All right, but I've got some pretty serious boots on, all right? I mean, in fairness, I've got my very scary boots in the boot of my car. These are my comfy ones, all right? But if I was wearing my scary ones, you might look at me and say, okay, there's a bit of yellow there, but my God, those boots are red. Yeah, and you'd be right, yellow and red, because we can be a bit of everything, okay? It's just the patterns we're looking for. What about this? These people tend to wear jewellery that is important, that is meaningful, a charity bracelet or the footprints of their cat or, you know, their babies or something like that, you know, that they wear on a regular basis. They wear things for comfort. And if they have a little bit of egg down the top, that's okay, all right? Right, it's true. They're more comfortable. They wear muted colours. What colour are we looking at for this? Green. Yes! Oh, God, you lot are brilliant. I told you, they're all witches. They're all witches. Okay, and this one, obviously this is blue. This is much more kind of traditional is the word I'm going to use. Traditional. Don't mind a uniform. I don't mind a uniform, actually. That's why I joined the RAF. But I've got to tell you, ladies, 80 men to 1 woman. Drifting off there. Anyway, that's a little bit of how you can recognise people by what they wear. So as soon as somebody walks up to you, you can tell. So when people are coming up to me at my stand and saying, "You're the people reader, oh my God, are you reading me?" I usually say, "Are you paying me?" "No." "Well, jog on, love." But actually, money aside, yes, you are radiating your colour all over me. I can't help, just get off with your colour, all right? I see you. Now, have a look down these columns, okay? And have a guess at what you are. Tell me, just go yes when you know where you are. What are you more than anything else? Just say yes if you've got it. Yes, you know who you are. You can be one, you can be two, you can even be three. If you're four, I don't believe you. We can't be everything to everyone. We have to give ourselves some time. We have to give ourselves an alternative. Quick sneaky check of the watch there. Just seeing how I'm doing for time. Am I right for time there, Dan? So are there any blues in the room? Can anyone shout yes if you're a high blue? Yeah, okay. Whoever said yes the loudest there, I want you at 25 past to stand up and go, 5 minutes. All right, so you did it. You offered. So, you see, Dan, I can't go over time. I can't go over time because we have a blue in the room. And the blue in the room is going to be accurate, are they not? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Are you ready for some really, really toe-curling stuff? Okay. What I would like you to do is I would like you to get your phones out. And I would like you to take some flipping photos of this lot. Because if you haven't put your name down, you won't get my cheat sheets. If you have put your name down on my stand, I will send you the cheat sheets anyway. But if you haven't, just take pictures. This stuff is gold dust. Let's have a look. How do we talk the language of other people? You clearly know the different 4 main behaviour types. So what happens when somebody that you're having an issue with, you can very clearly see that the reason you're having an issue is because you're the opposite colours. And by the way, red and green are opposite each other and yellow and blue are opposite each other. Okay? If you're going to have a clash, it is likely to be with the direct opposite. So what happens when you are dealing with somebody that you need to build rapport with? Well, just check out your cheat sheet. Michelle's done the work already. Yeah, she got the nosebleeds, doing out the big forms because she's not very high blue. Yeah, hours and hours of work on Microsoft Excel spreadsheets for every single tiny little change in behaviour. I'm writing a whole box of new information. Nosebleeds. Yeah. I needed a bottle of wine afterwards. That's after every box. You think I'm joking? Why do you think I'm teetotal for 16 months? It was a must. Okay, so when we're dealing with reds, we've got to be bullet points. Don't fanny around. There's no point in fannying around. Yeah, you have to get straight to the point. If I'm offending anyone, sorry. But not sorry. That's a bit of yellow. You see, I'm teaching you here. I'm not being naughty, I'm teaching you. All right? So, red, fast-paced, bullet points. If you're doing an email, just bullet point it. Just make it fast because that is their language and they will appreciate it. You will get the best out of them when you do that. If somebody is yellow, you can give them compliments until the flipping cows come home. Doesn't matter what it's about. They'll take it. Yeah? So bring it on, say more. And for those of you out there where I've said, oh, I like your dress, oh, I like your hairdo, that's just me. I like people. Yeah, and if I like something about you, I'll say it. I said to Lucy, you've got the smiliest eyes. And she's like, thanks. A little bit worried. Got myself another stalker. Okay, what else? What about greens? Now with greens, please don't give them a compliment. Greens are the ones that bat the compliments away. You say, that's a nice dress. Oh, this whole thing. Got it in a charity shop. They don't like the attention. They don't like the compliments. They don't like to be the one on the stage getting all of the applause. Okay? They like to be the people that are supportive in the background. They love to be the wind beneath the wings of the other colours. So with those people, it all has to be about inclusion. It has to be considerate. It has to be nurturing. Okay, it has to be patient, it has to be timely. Don't ever try and force a green into a really tight deadline. Because, who said that? What did you say? No, it's all right, come on, join in. This is the fun bit of the day. Go on. Exactly, no. Why? Because they will dig their heels in and they will be more stubborn than you can imagine, because that's a negative behaviour of that particular profile. So you want to get on with them and build rapport, not break it. And what about the blues? Make sure you've done your research. Yeah, make sure it's accurate. None of these flipping typos on your slides or your spreadsheets. All right, because I'll sat there go, that'll never do. I can't trust a word she says because she wrote 202 instead of 2020. She obviously hasn't got a clue. Yeah. But it's true, these people like formal structure. You know, they like the evidence. Give them the evidence and make them feel, as the expert, that they have made the decision. Little hints and tips there. Okay, what else? How to give a compliment. We're talking about compliments. This is how to give a compliment. Take a photo. Make sure I'm in it. So reds, if you're going to give a compliment to a red person, make sure it's all about their accomplishments, their successes, their wins, okay? If you're going to give a compliment to a yellow, it can be anything, doesn't matter, anything. Your bum looks big in that. Thanks. Greens, what about greens? Okay, indirectly. If you're going to compliment them, indirectly compliment them. Tell them how much the team has changed since they've been a part of it. So, something that's a little bit indirect, does that make sense? Takes a bit of effort, but it actually really, really works. Do not shine the spotlight on them. The worst thing I've seen when I go and work with organisations is they say, we haven't given enough recognition to our greens, you know, our customer care teams and all that. So what do? Over the tannoy, I'd like to say a very big thank you. And can we please give a big round of applause for this month's winner of the award? And they're like, oh my God. It's the worst thing you can do. Don't do that. Don't ask them to come on stage and take a bow. They honestly don't want to. All right? So just bear that in mind. And if you're thinking, well, I'm green and I don't mind a bit of the spotlight, well, guess what? You're green-yellow. Duh. You can be a bit of everything, all right? We switch it up and down. What about blues? If you're going to compliment blues, make it about their expertise. Yeah, make it about their thoroughness, their precision, their knowledge, their accuracy, all that, okay? Make sense? Yeah. Like it? Yeah. Want some more? Yeah. Go on then. How to diffuse a situation, okay? If you are going head-to-head with a red, all right, let them win the battle. Let them win the battle. Yeah? They will go to war. All right, but it doesn't matter. Just let them feel like they've won. Yeah, because sometimes reds will just go at it until they get the win. So let them feel like they've got it. We all do that, don't we, with husbands and partners and stuff like that, and children and dogs. Cats, yeah. Yellows. Allow yellows to be seen as the hero. They love being the hero. If they're bright yellow, they love being the hero. Oh my gosh, if it wasn't for you. They like the strokes. Constant stroking your arm gets tired with the yellows, yeah, but that's constant stroking is needed. Now with the greens, you have to give consensus. You have to allow them to have consensus of opinion, all right? You need to be very careful, actually, with greens. You have to be careful with greens. Make sure that you give them enough time and enough resources to make their decisions in the time that they need in order to make it. Because otherwise they'll feel like they're rushing it and they won't be pleased with it, and they'll think about it for a long time, okay? So when you're diffusing a situation, make sure you give them enough time to gather consensus of opinion. And then with the blues, again, it's very, very simple. Back it up with evidence. Whatever you're doing, back it with evidence. If you go into an emotional argument with a blue, you will lose right there. Because the second you get emotional, it's like, that's it. They're done. I'm not doing it. Anyone had that? Yeah. Yes? Can I have a yes? Yes. Can you tell I'm a bass singer? Should I do that again? Yes. Mark told me earlier I'm a female. I'll have him for that later. Right, how to infuse each of the colours. Take a photo, all right? How to infuse people. With reds, give them goals, give them targets, give them something to destroy, something to smash They'll love it, okay? If you have yellows, make sure that they have affirmation, rewards, recognition, all right? Celebration, fame, that's what they want. Put their name up in lights, okay? But be careful, because no one is just one colour. Nobody is just one colour. We are an amalgamation, so you have to know before you do this stuff. You have to be certain. All right, with greens, make sure it's team targets. Make sure it's development, people's personal development. You're giving them stuff that will allow them to progress in their career, things that are useful to them. Okay, loyalty, longevity, those are the things that are important to people with a lot of green in their behaviour. Commitment, yeah? And then blues, qualifications, standards, a white paper of academic recognition. Sound like Spock now, don't I? You see, I'm kind of getting quite extreme, and I want you to understand that behaviour profiling is all about, we've all got the same brain, okay? We all have the same brain. We all have the same capacity. We all have the same organs within the brain. However, we all have a different bus driver. We do. We have a different bus driver, and that bus driver drives his little bus around the route in whatever way he wants. Yeah, and whatever way this is neuroscience, by the way. I don't want any giggling now. This is serious stuff. This is the science bit in the shampoo adverts. This is the neuroscience, okay? This little bus driver in your head is neuroscience. It really is. This bus driver in your head, he goes around in different stops. If you want to change your behaviour, you need to understand what the consequences are. If you want to be more red, then you need to know you've got to be less green. If you want to be more blue, you need to know that you're going to be less yellow. Do I give a damn about my typos? No. In fact, I've done a whole stand-up. I only did one stand-up, okay, one ever stand-up set in my life. Won the national competition, by the way. I know, thank you very much. See, thank you. The yellow in me loves that. Yellow in me loves that. Bit of applause. Standing ovation at the end. I've told you now twice. Okay? So, I've forgotten what I was talking about, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't care about my typos, because, do you know what? I'm a creative freaking genius. And I'll own it. Yeah, if I want to be more accurate, I'm going to take some of that sparkle away. Does anyone want to have any of their sparkle taken away from them? No. Oh, thank you. We're going into pantomime stage now. I love it. He's behind you. Okay. But it is, honestly, right, serious now. Shh, serious now. Neuroscience, this stuff is real, okay? Get your phones out. Take a picture. How to acknowledge. This is how you acknowledge all the different colours, okay? You acknowledge red people. They will value acknowledgement of success and accomplishments and rewards and, you know, sometimes financial. You know, it's not always financial, sometimes not. Yellows, they actually love gushiness, yeah? And those people that are yellow, if I say, oh, I like your dress, they're, oh, thank you. It's the sheen. You know who I'm talking about. It's my friend, my new friend, she wears sheen, shine, I don't know what we call it, but she's got the best dress sense. I love her dresses. Sheen, shine, I love that. And by the way, I did promise to talk about my tights. I've managed to find the only tight company that can make me look like my legs have been sick. What's that? You know what, that's snag, that is for you. That's snag. I wrote to Snag. I said, have you got anything sexy and glossy? Because I'm not having my legs looking like they've been sick. Right. I'm going to be told off in a minute by someone shouting out, go, 5 minutes, so I'm going to crack on. All right, how to get rid of someone in 10 seconds. Do you want to know how to get rid of someone in 10 seconds? This is brilliant, all right? What you've got to do, don't let them know you're doing this. Shh, listen. This is true, right? Look there, right in between their eyes. Right in between their eyes. So whilst they're talking to you, just look at them in between their eyes. Okay, you will see people physically back off. It is magic. Now, if you see Mark in the auditorium later on, queues of women going to be talking to him afterwards. Yeah. If he wants to get rid of any of you, he'll look you right there And you'll just feel like backing off. You can use it in the pub when you get chatted up by too many people or whatever, you know, or if there's somebody in a networking environment and you're thinking, I really want to go and talk to that important person over here, I wish you would shut up. You don't have to be rude anymore. You don't have to say it. You can just look at them there and it'll happen. Do you like that? Yeah. There you go. Have it. And here, this is something used by, not the M15, Dan, MI5. I had to send him an email and say, no, we're not talking about the M15 motorway. This is a tactic used by MI5 and Scotland Yard. Where's my 5-minute timer? Still got time. I haven't. 6 minutes. Oh, we are then. Well, my watch is fast. That's the first. You know why my watch is fast? Because I'm so high yellow. What? 1 minute, you see. Well, let's not have an argument between the blues, please. Can I just say the reason that my watch is fast is because I'm always late. Yeah, that's a yellow trait. It is what it is. Here is how to catch someone out. Liars can't tell their story backwards. Try it on your kids, on your other half. Try it on someone. Yeah, try and make them go back. Just tell me that again. And if they can't go backwards, the chances are it's a lie. Do you like that one? Yeah? Fantastic. Lie to me. Anyone seen Lie to Me? Anyone seen Tears of a Crime? Who likes crime programmes? You know the real life crime programmes? Yeah? What's it called? No. Tears of a Crime. That one. Absolutely fantastic. You've got people like me, except not quite as good, people readers. You got the real deal here, but they're just fake, right? As soon as BBC knows about me, I'm going to be sold out. So has that been useful? Yes, fantastic. Well, in that case, I'm going to go because one person says I've got 4 minutes left. Someone else is on 1 minute over. And I don't like to go over because professional speakers don't go over. So it has been an absolute joy meeting all of you. And I adore you all. Thank you, darlings. Thank you.